Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I decided to film a little something that's been very requested, especially lately, and that is a rating my self-tanners from best to worst facial self-tanner version. I know I did the body self-tanner version quite a while back actually, and you guys loved that video, so I thought it would be fun to do the facial self-tanner version of that, and then soon I'm hoping to do an updated version of the body self-tanner one because I've gone through quite a few self-tanners since making that video. I think we're due for an updated one. But that's what today's plan is. We're gonna be talking about what I hated the most and what I loved the most. So before we get into it, please make sure to give this a big thumbs up for me and subscribe to my channel. If you love tanning, if you love makeup, then you definitely wanna make sure you subscribe. But if you wanna see me rate my facial self-tanners from worst to best, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. Alrighty guys, so I have 12 facial self-tanners here. For some reason I thought I had more. I might have misplaced one or two, or maybe I'm just going crazy. But yeah, there's 12 here, and we're gonna be building up the collection because there's a lot of self-tanners for the face out there that I have yet to try. But for right now, we're going through 12 of them, and we're starting from the worst, the one that I thought was completely not worth the money, to the best, the one that I thought was worth every single penny. So let's just get into it because I'm gonna be talking a lot. So the worst of the worst self-tanners for the face that I've tried has to be the Tan Towel Self-Tan Anti-Aging Towelettes for the face. These I just thought were like unnecessarily messy. Like they got all over the palms of my hands, and even though I washed them, they still turned the palms of my hands orange. I honestly, since filming that video, have not touched these a single time. I haven't even looked at them. I honestly forgot that I even had these until today when I was pulling out all my facial self-tanners to film this video. So I think that says enough. It just didn't really give me any color. It didn't really wow me in any way, shape, or form. So unfortunately, these are at the bottom of my list. These are probably the last ones out of all of these that I would repurchase. The next one, which is gonna be the second worst to me, is the COOLA Sunless Tan Anti-Aging Face Serum. And that is because this is so expensive for something that's really not impressive, in my opinion. So this is number 2 from the worst for me because it's over $50, I believe. It barely did anything for my face, was not impressive in the slightest as far as color goes. And the biggest reason is because I completely forgot about this. Like when I saw it in my self-tan drawer, when I was pulling out my facial self-tanners, for some reason I thought this was a body self-tanner, which also didn't impress me, but I totally forgot that I even tried this facial self-tanner. So that just goes to show how unmemorable this one was for me, and just what a waste of money, to be honest, in my opinion, because it's so expensive for something that just didn't really give me much of anything. So this is my number 2 from the worst. The third self-tanner on my list is gonna have to be the TANOLOGIST The Face Illuminating Self-Tan Drops in medium dark. You guys already know how I feel about these. It was just kind of disappointing because, again, this is another facial self-tanner that's so expensive. Like I think this was also in the 40s or 50s price range, and it's just so expensive for no reason. Like, there's so many self-tanners in this pile that did such an amazing job, gave me so much color, made my skin look so good, made it feel so good, and this just didn't really give me anything. Like if you guys go back and watch that video of me reviewing this facial self-tanner, you'll see it really didn't give me much color, and you would think it would because look at the color that's in here. It's like pretty tan in there. So I would have thought that that would have reflected off on my face. Like I really was expecting this to wow me because it's so expensive, and I feel like a lot of people hype up this brand, but I just think you can get such a better result for something that costs like half the price of this. So this is third from worst for me. The next one that is on my list is from St. Moritz. It's the Radiant Glow Tan Boosting Facial Serum. I just recently did my video reviewing this, and you would know if you watched how excited I was about this. I was really excited because this brand has been around for so long. So I just assumed, and this is the first product that I've tried from the St. Moritz brand, so I just assumed that it was going to be good because I feel like a lot of people use this. I feel like this is one of the first self-tan brands that I ever saw being sold at Ulta like years and years ago. So I just thought this was going to be like a staple piece as far as a self-tanner goes, but it was like the opposite. Like it barely gave me any color. It wasn't the worst, of course, obviously I've tried worse, but definitely have tried much better. So this is kind of just in the pile. The next one that I'm going to talk about is, and I hate that this is so low on my list because I love this brand for self-tanner. It's the Isle of Paradise Face HYGLO Self-Tan Serum with hyaluronic acid. So I just posted the video reviewing this last week. So if you guys have watched my most recent self-tanning video, you'll know how I feel about this. And it's not that I don't love it. I do like it. I really liked how easy it was to spread and how easy it was to just use. And it made my skin feel just really soft and nice. But when I say it did barely anything for my face, I was shocked because every other product that I've tried from Isle of Paradise has totally just blown me out of the water as far as results go. They've all been so amazing, just super impressive. And that's, when I think of Isle of Paradise for self-tanning, I think of a brand that's just really reliable, that when you know you have like a special event or something going on that you need that like really nice, even, perfect looking tan for, that is like a foolproof self-tan brand. Like you can always count on it. So this just disappointed me a little extra because when I saw the color that came out, which was barely anything the next day, I was like, damn, I really wanted to like this because it has hyaluronic acid in it too. So you're getting that skincare aspect in there as well as the color, but it didn't really give me any color, and I did the max amount of drops that it said to. So it was just a little disappointing. The next one that we have is from Australian Glow. It's the Ultra Fine Facial Bronzing Mist with Rose Water. Guys, if you haven't watched this video, you need to pause right now and go watch this video. I was literally cracking up editing that video because just what it did to my face just right off the bat, I was like, I really like the concept of this. It's supposed to be a really fine mist that you spray over your face, and it claims that you can use it as just like a regular self-tanner, or you can use it as like a setting spray after makeup, and then it will like develop over time. Do not, and I repeat, do not use this as a setting spray on your makeup. You're gonna ruin your entire face of makeup. You're gonna be very disappointed. Just don't do it, please. And another big thing, this burned my eyes so bad when I applied it. I was literally in shock after I sprayed this on my face because I had my eyes closed obviously when I was spraying it because I wasn't trying to get it in my eyeballs, but it didn't even matter. It still got in my eyes and it burned so bad. My eyes were literally bloodshot red. The worst application process I've ever gone through, and so messy. I would say the rest of the self-tanners in here for the face that I've tried have been clear going onto my face initially, which, as you guys know, for facial self-tanners specifically, I really like that. And then to have them develop throughout the rest of the night. This came off like this dark green color on my face right away, and it was so overwhelming, and it was just all dripping down my face and my neck, and it was such a mess. I love the color that came out at the end. The next day I was looking tan, I was looking good, I was feeling good, but I don't think it's worth it because of how horrible that application process was. It was just a mess. It was definitely one of my funnier self-tan experiences that I've filmed and tried, but you can get a better result that's not as painful, if that makes sense. So that's the next one. After that, it is the Tropez Self-Tan Purity Vitamins Glow Boosting Vitamin C Bronzing Water Serum. It's a long one. So this one is next because I did really like this, but it's kind of in the middle here because it didn't really do anything like really crazy amazing for me, but I also really liked it at the same time. Like, it did give me good color. It felt good on my face, just everything. It was a good facial self-tanner, but it's just in the middle because the rest of the ones that I have just did more for me, if that makes sense. Which brings me to the next one, and that is the Bali Body Face Tan Water. So this one is next on my list because I also really love the color it gave me. I feel like it really gave me a really nice tan, and I've been recommending this to people actually because it's really good, but we'll get into the reasons why the rest of these are better. I love the fact that you pump this out and then put it on a cotton pad and use it as if like you would use a toner, if that makes sense. It just feels like I'm doing another step of my skincare, not applying a self-tanner, so I really like that about it. It's a really good facial self-tanner. It's just that the rest of these did a little more for me. Again, now we're getting into like the harder explanations because I feel like these 6 self-tanners for the face have all been really impressive and really good, but I had to rate them and I had to pick my favorite, so bear with me. These are still really good, I promise. The next one is the Tropez Self-Tan Purity Bronzing Water Face Mist. I also really love this one because this, as opposed to this, was not painful. It was just really easy to apply, really easy to blend and spread and everything. And it just felt really nice. It gave me a really beautiful dark tan. So I loved that. So moving on to my number 3 facial self-tanner. This is my top 3rd facial self-tanner. We've got 2 more to go after this. It is the Isle of Paradise Dark Self-Tanning Drops for the face and body. I only use these for the face. I don't use them for the body because I feel like it just makes more sense to only use them for my face. They'll last longer. I have a bunch that I use for my body. I absolutely love the idea of self-tanning drops for the face that you mix in with your moisturizer. I feel like it just makes the whole tanning process so much less messy, and your skin is still so hydrated because you're using your moisturizer in there too, and it gave me such good color. Like, when I tell you I look like I just stepped off the beach, it is amazing. I love it. The only reason that this next one is my number 2 is because it costs less. So moving into my number 2, it's the TANOLOGIST Face and Body Drops. Again, absolutely love. And I did a comparison video on these 2 self-tanners because I loved both so much, and every time somebody asked me which one I liked more, I didn't know what to say. So I did a comparison. They ended up being like almost exactly the same, so I was still kind of at a loss for words. So the only reason that the TANOLOGIST one is number 2 is because it's less expensive. It's like $10 less expensive, and you're still getting pretty much the exact same result. So that's why this is number 2. But again, I love the idea of the drops. That's probably my favorite consistency for a facial self-tanner. It's just really easy. You're incorporating it into your skincare, so I just absolutely love that. I would recommend those a million times over. And last but not least, we have my number 1, my absolute favorite of all of these facial self-tanners, and it is the SOSU Dripping Gold Wonder Water. Guys, I was like in heaven. The morning after I applied this, I woke up and I was like, my skin looks so good. I had such a perfect tan. It was so easy to apply. One thing I didn't like about it was that it burned my eyes a little bit, so I need to play around with like the method of how to apply this the best way, but it's so worth it for the color that I got the next day. This has to be the best tan that I've seen on myself out of all of these. Just the undertone of it, the depth of how dark it was, just everything. It was so, so perfect. And I think I paid like $11 for this. So it's also, I think, the cheapest out of all of these. And it did the most amazing job. And I was not expecting anything less, honestly, because if you've tried the SOSU Dripping Gold Body Self Tanner, you also know that that's one of my favorites. It's so, so amazing. I'm already pretty much out of it because I use it so often. I just absolutely love this. I would recommend this over any of these a million times over. Just please don't spray it in your eyes. Figure out a different way to do it, like with a brush or with like a cotton pad or something. Other than that, it's stunning. Go watch that video if you haven't already, and you will see why. Once you see the tan I have the day after applying, thank me later. So that's all I have. That was all 12 of the facial self tanners that I've tried. Again, I think I'm forgetting 1 or 2 of them. I feel like I reviewed a couple more that I might have misplaced, but that's okay. That's my rating for all of the facial self tanners that I have and that I've tried and reviewed for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to comment down below what your favorite facial self tanner is, because I'm really curious about what you guys think as well. Make sure to give this a big thumbs up for me, and please subscribe to my channel. Show some support for the channel. It means the absolute world to me, so thank you so much. But stay tuned, and I will see you guys in the next video.